Hey guys, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here, and today I've got something very interesting to talk about because this is very near and dear and angering to my heart as well, and this is a story coming from Wired that is entitled, "Could the Coronavirus Kill Influencer Culture?" I am not a fan of the influencers, and I will dive into that and tell you why, but here's what's going on, and we're going to start with the Wired thing. Now, in recent years, lifestyle influencers have emerged as basically a class of their own. Their employment, many would likely call themselves creators or content builders, is basically to build feeds depicting beautiful and carefully curated lives and crafted images and all of this. Their salaries are typically sponsored by product deals, brand collaborations, and by virtue of this, the perks are free trips, designer clothes, invitations to things like swanky events, and all of this, obviously, is basically churned out into Twitter feeds, Instagram, YouTube, all this kind of stuff. Now, with coronavirus dominating our life worldwide, that's becoming much harder to do. Things like travels, parties, and dining have basically been canceled, and so campaigns and deals for influencers have essentially been frozen. They've been frozen. Now, followers of influencers that obviously are very uncertain about their lives and their economic futures, as we have a massive amount of unemployment around the world, are obviously going to be less moved by these images or less willing to spend money on these things. And so as the coronavirus spreads, how can influencers stay relevant when basically the foundations of their industry are upside down? How can they bounce back if they make the wrong move? And ultimately, will anyone care if they don't? And I don't. And here's my take on this, and quite frankly, let it burn. And I will tell you why. Because quite frankly, through this tech boom, there has been an evolution in human ego that has been detrimental to society. And let me walk you through this, because we're going to start with the foundation of Facebook and the platform that eventually became social media. Facebook was an opportunity for many to show their friends just how amazing their life was by crafting their own narrative in word and pictures about how good their lives are and displaying it to their own internal social ecosystem. So if you had 100 friends or 1,000 friends, you would see people posting, "Oh, I love my husband, I love my wife, I have a perfect life, my kids are amazing," and all of this. That's mostly BS. I have seen a lot of these people just anecdotally in my own life say, "Oh, look at my perfect life, perfect life, perfect life," and then suddenly they're getting a divorce. So here you are. But this laid the foundation for a society that was obsessed with presenting what the ancient Greeks called the mask. Now, the ancient Greeks, in their plays, the actors would actually hold masks up to their face to basically show the world, and meaning the audience, what they wanted the world to see. And when the actor would remove the mask, the actors spoke of their own and oftentimes troubled inner dialogue, and that's what we are. Facebook allowed us to hold up a virtual mask to the world to show everybody what we wanted the world to see, not about our own problems. Facebook founded the modern mask. Now, in this evolution came Twitter, which showed us that anonymous people detached from their true identity could not just show the world what they wanted to see, but also bring out their inner demons and turn the anger up to 11. Cyberbullying, hatred, racism, and other awful characteristics were exemplified in 140 characters or less. Twitter is where civility goes to die, and it has been ramping up, especially in a politically polarized society like what we are living in here in the United States and in many places around the world. Next came Yelp, which you don't think about, but think about this. With the best of intentions on rating restaurants, it evolved this perfect life that we saw on Twitter and Facebook, and also took what Twitter taught us about getting our way no matter who we harmed in the process, in this case, Twitter with words, but created a legion of monsters on Yelp that were set forth to conquer the restaurant and other industries. Stories were rampant about arrogant Yelpers demanding free food and other items unless they got their meals for free, and on and on and on. Multiple restaurant owners were complaining about this. It just was a horrible situation for the restauranters. Now, don't get me wrong, there are obviously a lot of people on Twitter, Yelp, and Facebook that were well-intentioned. Some people just didn't like it, didn't have a good experience. Other people rated it well. But there was a group of people that basically would go and say, you're just going to give me my meal for free or else I'm just going to trash you on Yelp. Over and over and over, we saw these throughout the years, article after article after article. Same with Twitter and anger, racism, bullying. Same with the psychology of Facebook and all of this. And so, of course, this foundation birthed the influencer culture. A younger generation that grew up and evolved in this environment basically saw how they could not only sculpt a persona of perfection online, but also now use it to make money by getting free things. And the various industries that cater to these horrible people were more than happy to pay them in various ways to advertise to younger, aspiring people that wanted to be this. And so we have now a generation that wants to be an influencer or a YouTuber that actually creates something meaningful or contribute something meaningful to society that is going to push the ball forward. We are less inclined to go into a science that might help us cure a coronavirus in the future, or a service industry, which encompasses everything from restaurant workers that serve our food or people that cut our hair to cybersecurity. I'm in a service industry. I help companies, individuals, organizations, governments, etc. stay safe online. Also medicine. Medicine as well is a service industry. The doctor is helping you. The nurse is helping you. And so here we are. We have created this. And the coronavirus, I think, is putting this into perspective because the coronavirus is hitting the economy. And the economy for these people that say, I can craft a perfect life, I can do all of these things, I can show the world nothing of who I am, but of what I want them to see and make money on that. I think that's a detriment to society. That's a detriment to who we are, especially when it comes to educating the next generation that is being bombarded by this on Instagram and Twitter and YouTube and all of this. The more we are honest with ourselves, the more we trust ourselves. The more we trust ourselves, the more we can trust others. And the more we can trust others, I think the more we can start to knock down those political divide, because the other person that doesn't believe you isn't a monster. This is a problem. And if the coronavirus kills it, let it burn. Let it burn. This is an issue. And so that is your news of the day. Feel free to disagree with me. It's going to be very hard to deconvince me of this because I've done my homework on this and I'm actively writing an article on this very specific thing that I'm more than happy to share with my followers as well. But please be excellent to each other and don't follow influencers. It's time to get a real job. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP. And please feel free to subscribe to me at YouTube as well, where I promise I will not try to influence you except on cybersecurity things. And as always, stay safe and stay online. Thanks, guys.